In the days when Eli was the judge of Israel, there was a man called Elkanah who had 2 wives. One of them, Peninnah, had children, but the other, called Hannah, did not. Peninnah used to say things that upset Hannah and made her weep. One day, when they were in Shiloh, the place where God's tabernacle was, Hannah was praying to the Lord and crying. She promised the Lord that if she was given a son, she would devote him to God's service all his days. Eli the priest saw Hannah, and she told him about her sorrow. Eli said, "May God grant what you have asked." After some time, Hannah did have a child, and she called his name Samuel, which means heard by God. As promised, she took Samuel to the tabernacle when he was still a small child, and gave him to the Lord to serve him there. And Hannah gave thanks to the Lord, rejoicing in his kindness to her. So Samuel served the Lord in Shiloh, and each year Hannah would make him a new robe to wear, and she had 5 more children. Eli had 2 sons who sinned greatly against the Lord. But Samuel grew in favor with God and men. God was pleased with him. One evening, while Samuel was lying down to sleep, he heard a voice calling to him. So he ran over to Eli and said, "Here I am." "I didn't call you," said Eli. "Go and lie down again." But the voice called again, "Samuel." And Samuel rose up and went back to Eli. "I didn't call you," said Eli. Then the voice called to Samuel a 3rd time, and once again Samuel thought it was Eli. Then Eli realized it must be the Lord who was calling to Samuel. "If he calls again," said Eli, "say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant hears.'" Samuel went back and lay down again. "Samuel, Samuel," called the voice. And Samuel replied, "Speak, for your servant hears." The Lord had a message for Samuel. He was to tell Eli that judgment was coming upon his house. Samuel was afraid to tell Eli what the message was, but Eli made him say. And Eli said, "Let the Lord do what seems good to him." And Samuel continued to grow, and the Lord was with him. And everyone in Israel knew that Samuel was a prophet of the Lord. Here we learn that God listens to us. Hannah asked him for a child, and God heard and answered her prayer. We too can call out to God and know that he hears us. And we learn that we must listen to God. Like Samuel, we must be ready to hear and obey his word to us, which we find in the Bible. And we learn that God speaks through prophets. Long ago he spoke to his people through Samuel. Now he has spoken to the world through the greatest prophet of all, Jesus, his son.